One, two, come on, buckle my shoe. And I believe we are just about live. Because we have those long intros here on the Dice Tower where we don't have on my channel. Let me just wait for this video to end to make sure that we are live and everyone can hear me, see me, and all the other stuff. Yes, hello Ricky, Crystal, how are you, my friend? And yes, we are live here on the Mighty Dice Tower. Now, we're working on Conan today. Now, as you can see, everything is kind of already started. If you missed part one, that's because part one was about a half hour ago on my channel, and I figured I'd do all the base coats on my channel. So let's take a look at what we're working on today. We're going to work on a couple simple things, and the reason that we did the things the way we did it is because we are actually having to skip a week because of the BGG Con that I will be with the Dice Tower. So who are we working on today? Well, let's take a look, huh? I don't have this guy's card, but I just saw him and I just grabbed him and started painting him. But we are working on this Hatris guy. Hello, Dennis. Hello, Matt, Timon, Sean, Ricky, and Sean again. We're working on Conan, of course, which is what we have right here. We are working on one of the Bostonian guards, as you can see right here. I already showed you this guy. We're just putting the base coats on this guy. A couple skeletons, which I decided to change how they look. As you can see, they're a little lighter here. And of course, the very simple, but hey, dark demon. As you can see, all you have to do is base. So let's talk about some of the things that I've done already if you haven't seen it on the Dice Tower. I mean on my channel. The first hour, what we did is I had these two guys primed white. It makes it easier, and you're not putting a lot of coats of paint on to go over a dark color. So it's easier to put the flesh on and not lose the detail. Then we just put some Beastal Brown on. His hair's black, of course. Over here, with our guard, okay, we took what was that color? A leather brown from Army Painter. See, I actually used a Army Painter paint. Hello, Jason. How are you? We went over with a lead belcher, a gold, a brass scorpion. Excuse me for all the gold parts. And right now he doesn't look like much, but that's okay because we still have to put our washes and detail on him. Now this guy was just painted black, but all I did was I made my own gray, a very, very dark gray, and I just dry brushed him a little light. But that's not where we're going to stop with this guy, because if you look at this card, you want him to have a three-dimensional kind of look. And you can see in his musculature, if I said that correctly, that you can see where there are some light points and so forth and so on. So you ask, okay, why are we painting Conan? Well, for the month of November, we're going to be doing Conan. Once we get back, we're going to finish up Conan. We'll probably do a couple shows during the week, a couple on my channel, a couple here. Then we're going to move into Myth and then Wizard Academy, which I'm looking forward to. So we're going to get all those games done in the month of November. The reason we're in a rush to get Conan done is it is going to be part of my patron giveaway. So somebody has a chance of winning this if you are a patron on my Patreon. So there you go. And let's see, what are we going to do next? Now this guy here was, again, we had him black, but then we kind of used some of that dark gray and lightened it up a little bit because we wanted to give him a little bit of a different kind of flavor. So what we're going to do is build out from that. So why don't we get going? Well, the first thing that we really need to do is we need to take some more of that brass scorpion now that he's dry a little bit. And we have to build his fireball too. Whoops. Hey, get out of the way. There we go. Some of these guys really like to hog the camera, it seems. Joseph, how are you? I hope everyone is well today on this very, very lovely day here in Central Florida. Oops. And okay, you are going to have to get off. And we're going to work on musculature. These are just perfect guys to do what we are going to be doing, and really helps us learn a few things about shading and stuff like that. So this guy has a little gold here. So what we want to do is just put these gold spots in here. Kind of breaks up some of the colors too, which doesn't hurt. And if I had that card, which I did over here, I think I put it back over here. Yeah, he's got some keys in here, and he's got a bracelet. So we're going to try to get as close as we can. These are very nice models. Okay, I'll give you that. I really don't see anything disappointing with them. Some people are complaining about bendy swords. They're not that bent, and you could just put them in a little hot water if it bothers you. And I think they will be fine, to be honest with you. And I found that this is just a very, 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 very easy to work with models. So there are 212 figures, because this is the king set that we will be giving away. Painted completely. And we will have it painted probably when I get back from BGG-Con. Boy, I have a hard time saying that. And of course, we also have Battling Brushes coming up soon with Sam and I. I hope everybody will watch that. It's one of my favorite shows. Maybe because I'm doing it with my old buddy Sam. And we're going to go around here with a little gold. I like the way that goes. Let's see. Juan Pedro, greetings from Spain. Glad to have you here. Rob, have you played WarQuest yet? If so, what did you think of it? How's that for an answer? Yeah, I finished painting it. We played it off camera, matter of fact. We were going to play it on camera. We wanted to make sure that we had all the rules down. I have to say, I was a little disappointed in it. I think I just have to be honest. I don't think it was that great of a game. We were actually very disappointed. And, well, it's painted. And now owned by somebody. We gave it away as part of our patron giveaway for the month of October, which we gave away 20 really, really great games. We gave away the others. Black Plague. We gave away... Oh boy, we gave away so much stuff. We gave away Massamora. There were 20 games, and we gave away about $1,000 worth of stuff. I was very happy. The game that shall not be named. Yeah, pretty much. Excuse me, I'm going to take a swig of water here. Okay, if we're really going to want to get some of this stuff done, we're going to have to start doing some of these washes here. One of the things I want to do is I do want to get the next coat of that fireball on. So we're building out. We started with an Evil Sun Scarlet, and I usually like starting dark. Now we'll go into a bit of a Wild Red Rider. And we'll shake that up over here. We'll add a little water to it. And we'll use one of my other brushes here. I've got 3 brushes that I feel very, very good about today. So that's good. Alright, so we got a little bit of water here. And then what we're going to do, let me put down my little head visor so I can see, is we're just going to kind of lightly work out here. Kind of just work it out a little bit. Ever so gently. Fire or fireballs or whatever mystical thing this dude's got going on. These are like some of the hardest things to do. Because you can never really imitate fire. You can come close. Kabuki Kid! How are you, my friend? It is always a pleasure to be here on the Dice Tower. Now, if you guys are wondering why we are kind of halfway done with these guys, that's because part 1 was on my channel, Rob-Conan. You can see part 1 as we kind of put all the colors together and start getting things going. Because we wanted to save some time. And I didn't want to hog up all the airwaves of the mighty Dice Tower because, well, it is the Dice Tower. Alright. So, what do we want to do here? He looks pretty boring right now, right? Alright, we're gonna get this guy back into the game here a little bit. I'm going to do that with some Reichland Flesh Shade. Because this is where this guy is really going to come out strong. And that's what we really, really want to do is really... There's some good definition on this model, and we really want to bring that out. So why don't we do that, huh? So let's take a look. I'm going to do my best here to show you how this stuff is like magic a lot of times, this wash. Because a wash will really get in, and you don't have to worry about getting on anything else. And you're going to see where it's going to really kind of bring out some musculature. If that's the way you say it. And you can really go over. And you can see where it's going to fit into his leg. And I think where you're really going to see it is right here. So when we start going into his upper body. Because that's the main part of Conan here, is how muscular he is. And you really want that to shine. Because that's what's really going to sell this model. And if the game's called Conan, you want your main model to look really, really good. So, well, as good as you can do it. And it's not that hard to do, folks. You can do this. Anybody can do this. This is just so easy. It's just getting the base colors on. Okay? Cleaning up any mistakes that you make if you went over on anything. Taking your washes. And then we'll show you how we even highlight it even more. So you get yourself a really, really nice model. Because Conan is not pale, so we want to make sure that we get enough of this flesh shade in here. And darken him up a bit, because he's out in the sun all the time. He's always just killing everything. Because after all, he's Conan, right? That's what he does. I wonder how much Conan benched in his day. A couple elephants. A few things. And don't worry about getting it on the dark parts, because we're going to bring those out too. Don't you worry about that. We have a plan for old Conan here. And boom. Now you can start to see how muscular he is. And just by that, just sitting in there a bit. Custom terrain of a pickfeld. What? Okay, let me read some of this. I'm sorry. You guys know that I usually like to read all the questions, so let me just take a second. Are you going to add a little red glow to his face? So he looks like he's blushing? Rob, a while back you said you were going to do an episode creating custom terrain for mice and mystics. Are you still planning to do that, or did I miss it? No, I still plan on doing it. It always seems to get pushed back, and I think the reason it gets pushed back is because they keep on coming out with more and more stuff. In the books, Conan was portrayed as being insanely strong. Well, that's important. And they made him insanely strong. And you can see this guy, I've already put a little wash on there. And you see how he really starts to stick out a little bit. So we really like that. Alright. And also, really spry and fast. Yeah, he was kind of like the all-around athlete. I mean, he was the man of his time. Let's put it that way. Alright, so we did that, we did that, we did that, we did that. Okay, so now, what we really want to do is, I think this guy is dry enough. So we're going to take, for this soldier, and we want to darken him up. Any bother to paint the miniature for a raptor? I'm sorry, I don't understand what that means. Any bothered to paint the miniatures for Raptor? Oh, Raptor. I don't know anything about that game. I'm terribly sorry. The Mice and Mystic stuff, I think, because I started doing a terrain thing on my channel, and I did something for a couple of games that Justin and I were playing. We were playing Heavy Gear. So I did a terrain thing, and I said I would do it once a month. So for this month, I think probably the week of Thanksgiving, I'll do the Mice and Mystic stuff. I think that's fair. Because I do owe it to you guys. How's that? Not Conan, the guy with the fireball. Oh, yeah, I could probably do that. I gotcha. I'm sorry, Dean. I didn't understand. It's kind of hard to read and do this. So we're going to take some new oil, and we're going to go completely over this guy. We're going to go over all the metallics. We're going to sell the fact that, let's face it, this guy is out there. He's working it. I mean, let's face it, he's going to die anyways. You're really not worried about your appearance. I mean, Conan and his friends are just going to chop this dude up because obviously this is a bad guy. He's working for a bad guy. I don't think he gets in his pay scale, a laundry allowance or anything like that. So, this guy is just there to get hacked to bits. All right. And what I try to do with this particular segment, shall we say, is I really try to get these guys where you can play them and show you a quick and easy way to do it. By just putting the base colors and then going back over and highlighting a bit, you're going to see a lot of different things that we're able to do. Okay, let's get this guy back over here. Let's get this guy over here. Let's get Conan drying over there a little bit. We're going to come back to him. And while we have the new oil out, we're going to do some more. I remember one story where he lifted a stone slab that was trapping him in a sarcophagus, like an enclosure, and it was portrayed as being really heavy. So, what are we going to say that Conan can bench? All right. I'm going to say Conan can bench about 720 because he was kind of outlandishly strong. Yeah, 720. For his day, that's pretty good. Well, then again, how much that stone weigh? It had to weigh a ton, at least. All right, so he had to be like freakishly strong. Maybe he squatted it. There we go. After all, he's Conan. All right, and this is a skeleton that we were just throwing some new oil. We did some silver. We had, according to the picture, I decided to darken him up a bit because I really think that skeletons really don't sit there and really look that great. So we're going to do that. I already darkened this guy up a little bit. We'll just add a little bit more so we get a little bit more of a feel. This guy here. All right, while those washes are drying, we're going to be playing around with these two guys here because we're going to try to bring out a little bit more of what we wanted to do. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of dry brushing. Yes, dry brushing. We don't just use washes here. We use dry brushing too. All right, let's see if we have any questions while I'm waiting here. No, we seem to be doing pretty well. And we really want this to look nice because we want the person that gets it to feel like they really got something cool. And that's the way I feel about that. Alright, Brass Scorpion we'll leave out. We used Evil Sun. We're going to put that away. We're just going to clean up here a little bit. Just a little bit. Troll Slayer Orange. Well, we need a little bit of that, don't we? So why don't we grab another brush here. And just bear with me, folks. Alright, I think this one will do exactly what I'm looking to do here. We're just going to pull this off to the side here. I'm going to make sure this is dry over here. And I think I'm going to stick that up there like that. Stick that up there like, oh, no, that hole is not big enough. Come on, Rob. There we go. All right, there we go. It looks like we got everything under control here, don't we? Let me read this here real quick. There was an old AD&D module with Conan in it, and they gave him a strength stat of 18/95, which is on the edge of the maximum human strength, 18/100, is the highest possible in the game. So let's face it, Conan was one jack dude. I think we can all agree on that. First of all, the guy never had to wear a shirt, so that's pretty cool. He ate well, drank well. I don't know. Oh, what happened here? Alright. I think we got enough here. I'm going to have to get another one of these. Oh boy. And we're just going to take with a little Troll Slayer orange, and we're going to just kind of go over that just a hair there. Just touching that ever so lightly. Again, we don't want to take out the colors that we already put there. But we're just kind of working our way up. Alright, there we go. Dry that off. Alright, next thing that we want to do is we want to take a color called... Well, I had it too. Oh, here we go. Administration Gray. Now, what we're going to do with this is we've got our beastie here. He's just too black. It doesn't work that way. Augustine. Great to see and hear you, Rob. Looking good already. Well, thank you so much. It's very kind of you. And we all know the famous Frank Frazetta painting where Conan was portrayed as pretty muscular. The painting really helped put it into people's mind how he looked. Yeah, I agree. Michael, how are you? What is the best in life? To crush your enemies and see them driven before you and hear the lamentation of their women. Well, I think you pretty much just summed up everything that we're trying to create here. And thank you for that, my friend. Now I'm inspired. We're going to use what I call a dry brush. Now, this Administration Gray is very, very light, so we got to be careful with it. We got to be really, really careful with it, because for the most part, this guy is very, very dark, and we just want to hit the higher points ever so lightly, nice and easy. Okay? Because if he turns it gray, that doesn't help us any. Does it? No. I can hear you all out in the audience. No. Alright, now we get a little on our brush there. Just enough. Just enough. And we wipe it off. Seems like a waste of paint. Yes, it is. But we make sure that we get as much of it as we can off. What I like to do is take this, and if I see there's too much, then I know there's too much. Now we're going to use it on this guy first. But we're just going to kind of just dance across some of the higher points here. And that's all we want to do. We just want to dance that brush around and hit those high areas. See the edging right there? Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about, gentlemen and ladies. There must be a few of you out there. And all we're going to do is just hit these higher areas. We don't want it getting all over the cloak itself as much as we just want to hit a higher edge. It gives it more of a 3D property, which we're looking for. And we can come over here a little bit and work that out and just get our brush in there and work out the edges. And let's take a look here. Now you see what we created there? See how we gave that more of a dimension? Where's James Earl Jones? He's in the box. We're getting there. Thank you, and ladies. Oh, I did say ladies, didn't I? There's always ladies watching this. I always have a very good crowd of mixture of both, and I'm very thankful for everyone that watches my videos and participates. It brings me great joy. You have no idea how much you make this old man happy. He is in an upcoming expansion. Oh, I thought he was in my king box. Alright, so we're going to put this guy aside. Now, we have to do the same thing, but we got to be a lot more careful with this guy. That brush dance is flimsy. Yeah, I got to go easy because I'll break the brush. I will break this brush. Just like this whole thing that I have working here. Alright, so I'm going to put down the headset a little bit. And all I want to do is just nice and easy over a little bit, because I want to give this guy a little bit of depth. Now, if I have too much on the brush, I just brush it off there. Here I can go with the hair that he has here. I can go a little bit, be a little more dangerous and get a little bit more of that on there, so I can really push that brush in there. And I'm not worried about that on the hair part. I just want just a little bit of depth on this guy. Don't want to lose that dark look. But I can push that brush in there for the hair, which is fine. But I just want that musculature to really get over the top of the recesses. Just nice and easy, because I don't want to darken this guy up. But I do, I mean I don't want to lighten him up too much. But I do just want to lighten him up enough where we have a sense of who he is and what he is. We want him to be the dark beast, because it says dark demon. Alright? You know what I want? They need to make the model of that god that comes alive, that he rips the model off, that Arnold rips off. Now that was a cool move. I don't care what anybody says. Thank you, Larry. You did say ladies. Well, thank you, Crystal. And Lori. Lori is always found on my channel. And we have a nice little community there where we do a lot of things together. And it's just I have a good time. I love doing all my stuff for the Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is very important to me. Those guys are my friends, and as you know, I go down there quite a bit to Miami. Alright, so now you can see a big difference from what he was before, where he was completely dark. But now we can make out some of the details of him. And that's what we really, really want to do. You rock, Rob. I've been calling everything flimsy since you broke that art table thing in the previous video. It may have been board game breakfast. No, it was actually throat punch lunch, because Sam was not happy with me after that. He said, dude, did you have to break it? I was trying to make a point. I like their stuff, but I had to make my own table because, well, it was flimsy. Serprum 12 just tuned in, cooking some steak and onions, going to eat some dinner, then paint some minis. Going to be a great night. It really sounds like it. Alright, so getting back to what we were talking about. Okay, now you can see that we have some depth in here. You can see some of the detail. Kind of like how he was too light and we had to darken him up with a wash. See how we're starting to get a nice... See how nice his musculature is looking? Oh, boy, I'm going to choke over words. This guy, we can even look at him too. We had to darken him up to bring that out. Where this guy, we had to lighten to bring that out. Okay? And because his cloak was so light, okay? So dark, we had to hit the highlights to bring that out. So that's exactly what we were trying. Hey, Rob, do you have any tips for speed painting competitions? I'm tired of coming in second. I do. Make sure that you take your miniature And what I always tried to do in those type of competitions is, like this guy here, I would just paint him completely as quickly as I can, the flesh part. While that's drying, I'm doing the boots, I'm doing the things, doing his hair, then going over with a wash, and then from there, when the wash is drying, I can do other things like the sword and stuff like that, and catch up with that, and then boom, just do some quick highlights, and I'm done. That's kind of the best way to do it. Always paint your most difficult area, okay, first. And by doing that, you can be messy with it because you can fill everything else in very quickly. Your biggest area has to be your coverage area. Okay, where were we? All right, these guys. Okay, so now that we have everything really, we have these dark areas on these guys, we can do some things here while we're waiting for some of this stuff to dry up a little bit. So what I like to do is they have a thing called Necron compound. Whoop. Get it in the camera, Rob. Sorry, guys. Come on. Now, before we do Necron compound, I'm going to throw another wash over him. And I'll tell you why. He's Conan. He's got to be a little more tan, and we really got to make sure that we can really bring out that musculature. So I like to do a double wash on flesh, especially on a barbarian, because their most important attribute is their midsection and their arms and stuff. And you want to sell it. You really want to sell that big time. So again, his back. I mean, look at his back. We want that nice and dark because we're actually going to dry brush him. Yes, folks. You're saying, Rob, how can you do that? I mean, he looks pretty good already. Well, no, we're going to go a little farther with this guy because, let's face it, this is Conan. The name of the game is Conan. So we want Conan to be your best model, and we really want to sell how good we can make him look. The better he looks, the better the game feels, and the more the dice roll in your favor. Isn't that true? Don't the dice roll better if you... I don't know. What do I know? Sometimes I just talk to hear myself talk. Alright, so now you see... Whoops. I see how nice and heavy that is on there? I'll pull that back a little bit. There's a reason for that. We're going to do the same thing with his friend here. Let's just think that they were both hanging out. And, they're down at the beach after a hard day of killing and maiming. These are all important things. For Conan, at least. Alright. And we've got his legs. Perfect. Now you see how that just stands out there? See how well that stands out? When I saw the title to this, I thought it was going to be Conan painting Happy Little Clouds Bob Ross style. I was getting a little excited about it. I really regret not backing this Kickstarter. Board Game Renegade, what's up, my brother? Thanks for the tips. Anytime, Crystal. Have you ever used mini wax polyshade as a shade? No, I haven't. I'm sorry to say. I really keep things kind of basic. What would cost less, painting on your own or having it done? Painting on your own. It always costs less. Some people charge almost $5 a figure. Where, for this, guess what, folks? All you have to do is be part of the patron, and you have a chance to win this, along with 20 other very cool and painted games, believe it or not. And I do giveaways each and every month, because I just love to paint. So, a lot of times I'll paint things for myself, but a lot of times I just paint to paint. Like I'm going to do this for Tom too, because I know Tom wants his painted, so we're going to make sure that they look good. But Tom has to see this and say, hey, those look pretty good, Rob. I don't know if he'll say that, but I guess we'll figure it out, won't we, folks? All right, so while these guys are drying, I'm going to push them off to the side a little bit. Now, remember when I was telling you about the Necron compound? We were just talking about that a few minutes ago. And I had a brush specifically for it, which I'm dropping all these brushes all over the place. Come on, Rob. Oh, here we go. You two stay there. Necron compound is a dry paint, and it's made specifically for dry brushing. I wish I had painting skills. My Ninja Turtle game is itching for a paint job. Well, believe it or not, someone is sending me that and wanted just for me to paint it and put it, to do a taping of it. So, guess what? I'm going to paint it. I'm going to paint Ninja Turtles. So we'll have some fun. And if you can get some paint supplies, my dear friend, I will love to teach you how to paint it. How's that? $5 a figure. Yeah, that's why I don't like to. Sometimes I just paint a lot of things just to paint for people. I just don't like to charge people money because I think it's really ridiculous. Rob, what do you use to remove glossiness of shades and washes? I'll use a matte coat. They actually have the stuff where it's just clear and you put it over and it just dulls everything right down. So, getting back to this is a for dry brushing. This Necron compound is just, you can see it inside here. It's just very, very thick. Okay, but you get this on your brush, and it's just wet enough, and it's rubbery. But this stuff is fantastic. It's a little lumpy sometimes, but that's okay. We can just spread it out here like so. And just get a bunch of it off. Because what are we going to do with this? Well, I'm going to show you, folks. See how dark that is? And we just want to bring that back to life just by taking and going very lightly over the metallic areas. We are actually bringing some of that metallic back to life. We don't want to take all the darkness out, but we do want to bring back some of that and give it just a nice shine to some of it, because it's dull from battle, but it still has a bit of life to it. And you see how that kind of brings that out? Now look at his sword here. Now even though he's wet, that's okay, but I can kind of just hit the ends of this and just make that sword really kind of stand out. And he has some spikes here, so we're going to bring those out a bit, because he's Conan. That's what he does. Alright, let's take a little bit more of this. Whoops. That guy keeps getting in the way there. Same thing here. Just enough. Just enough. Just want to hit these little areas here, just to bring a little bit of a highlight up. Now the shield, see how dark that shield is? Well, let's just bring it back a little bit, just a little bit. Not much, but we kind of want to just take that compound and work it in there a little bit. Work it over the top here. It's got some areas here that we can work on his legs, his helmet, on his back armor, on the back of the armor here. There we go. We're just hitting some of this chainmail here down below. Just bring it out a little bit. See how that kind of pops it out a little bit? Alright, let's keep going here. little zombie or skeleton here. Again, all we're doing is just hitting these higher points. I think hit there, hit that just enough where it just comes out a little bit, and that's all we want to do. We're selling the armor. It's beat up and old, but you know, with old armor, it does have some higher points there. There we go. All right, Night Goblin Shaman, how are you? Thanks, Rob. Just arrived. Let's hear your top 3 favorite games. Well, that means I'd be giving it away. What if I did a top 10? You would know my top 3. Are you getting Dark Soul board game? Would be cool to see you paint those. If I can get my hands on one, I'd love to. Good evening from Canada, everyone. I'm really trying to get my hands on a, oh God, what do they call that game? I really want it too. I can't think of the name now. Doggone it. Alright, I'm just taking a little time here, folks, so just bear with me. Kingdom Death Monster, I heard that was pretty cool. That's all I heard so far, but, you know, no. Alright, let's just go over that a little bit more, and just bring that out. There we go. Alright, we got to let that wash dry a little bit, so let's just do that a little bit. Now, let's see here. Well, we can add just a touch of yellow, I think. It would have to be just a touch. I think that would help a little bit. And we're going to put that over to the side here. Sweet, thanks. Kingdom Death Monster? Yeah, I heard that was supposed to be a pretty good game. A lot of miniatures, a lot of painting and stuff like that. And I just like to paint a lot of things, I'll be honest with you. I really do. I love playing games, though. Me and the kids, if some of you are familiar with my channel, you know that I play every Saturday night with the kids. We have a great time. Alright, we're just touching this ever so lightly with a little bit of yellow. Trying to give it a little bit of life here. And there we go. Alright. You can see that in the different types of how we're building out. See how we're building out there? The assembling part of it keeps me away. I could do it. Kingdom Death Monster, it's awesome. They are doing a new Kickstarter Black Friday. Oh, that's cool. I've never done a Kickstarter. I don't plan on doing one anytime soon, to be honest with you. Just not a big fan of the Kickstarter. Okay, while we're waiting for some of this stuff to dry up a little bit, because we're going to do a few more things here. And, oh, by the way, when I come back from BGG Con, one of the first things that we're going to be doing is the big monsters. Because you guys have basically seen how to do all the easy stuff. That's why I did these this week. But we are going to be doing some monsters. I'm going to show you how to use a airbrush for one particular. So it's going to be a little loud, but we're going to have some fun, and we're going to get these guys done. We're going to do the rest of the heroes. I'm looking forward to a lot of the things that we're going to be doing, and I hope you guys are going to be enjoying it. So, first thing I want to do, and forgive me, I got to put down my visor here, and we're just going to put his eyes in. And I think, because he's so dark, I think a nice moot green eye would be good. You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to seeing your top favorite game list. How about your favorite 3 miniatures in games? For instance, I really love Blood Rage's miniatures. I did not love Blood Rage's miniatures. Everybody really liked them. I'm glad that it really got people inspired, but I didn't think they were very good quality miniatures. They were good, the monsters were good, but some of the guys, a lot of the swords were bendy, and it takes a lot to bring a lot of detail out. My top, I'd have to say Death Watch Overkill. I really like what they did there. I really like the miniatures from WarQuest. They were, they reminded me of the old, whatchamacallit? They reminded me of the old GW stuff, fantasy stuff. I mean, I just loved them. I loved the poses. I loved the elves and the dwarves. I thought they were fantastic. Have you painted the miniatures from Star Wars Imperial Assault? Yes, as a matter of fact, if you go on this very channel that you're on, the Mighty Dice Tower, and go to Battling Brushes, you can see what Sam and I did, and we actually played together. We did that and a whole bunch of expansions. Sweet. I've been waiting for an airbrush segment. So far, I've used all of mine is for basing. Yeah, well, we're going to be doing some cool stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I always look forward to doing this Painting Live with Rob every Thursday thing. Of course, last week I was down winning TI3 from my dear friend Sam. I know it hurts, Sam. I know it hurts. But as long as Vern will keep on attacking, I will just sit there and take points. Okay, all we're going to do is, the key to this is keeping both elbows on the table, going slow into the area, and just dinking in there. There you go. One eye. And dinking in there. Two eyes. There we go. He's got some eyes now. There we go. Yeah, Conan messed this dude up. There we go. Eyes. Just like that. Boom. Alright, so let's get these two colors out of the way. What time do we have? 8:38. Alright, we're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Everything went according to plan. Always have a plan when you paint. At worst, Nathaniel Robinson. My brother. Nathaniel, I will be sending out, I believe you won Zombie Black Plague, was it? I will send it out when I got back. I just sent a big pile of stuff. 16 games. Overseas. Oh, goodness me. That cost some money. But, hey, it was worth it. Remember, you want to get in the Patreon and get into the box of goodness. The box of goodness is full of blocks with numbers. If you are in here, you have a chance to win 20 games each and every month. Okay. The TI3 King. I forgot. I think you guys all forgot my name. I am the Destroyer of Worlds. Alright, so we got his eyes done. His teeth are done. These guys are drying. As you can see, they're really, really dark. You're almost like, wow, that's maybe too dark, Rob. Really? Why'd you do that? No, trust me, we have a plan. We always have a plan. Alright. So, now that that's drying, these guys are looking okay. He is looking alright. Let's see if there's anything that we have to touch up with him. Oh, yeah, matter of fact, we do. Because we do have to do more of the fireball. And what I like to do is I'm going to take a little bit of Scar White. Just the least bit that you could ever imagine. And just add that to our guy. So we're going to take our little dry brush here. Okay? And I am just going to that's way too much. That's right. Way too much. So we're going to take it all off. All of it. Let's just check the phone. I think I offended the board. Great. That's that's the queen of the known universe. She's the best. Alright. Sorry about that. I always check in case it's an emergency when the queen of the known universe is not here. So now, what I want to do is I want to check on the bottom here, because if too much white will ruin everything that I tried to do here. And I'm just going to touch over the top here. Just adding such a light shot of it. Right? If I wanted to, I can kind of touch some of these lines here with it. Just a little bit to give our guy just a little bit more light fixture. It's almost like he's got a little light on him. And we're going to just touch that a little bit. There we go. And just nice and easy. And you see what we're accomplishing here. We're doing edging. A lot of people like to paint the edges. Listen, that's going to take forever. And we're talking about people that are wanting to play board games quickly and just want something to show off to their friends. Well, I'm showing you how you can do this pretty quickly. And that's the most important thing. That guy looks pretty good. I mean, he looks all right. Good night, the great board game renegade and chatter. By the way, great job on these middle. Thank you so much. Kingdom Death Monster is the best game I've ever played. Gonna gain some basic paint skills from Conan, then use them for Kingdom Death Monster. Good job. Have you played or painted Shadows of Brimstone? Yes, I did. You can find that on my channel. Heh, Rob. Oh, I've already read that one. I was going backwards. Now, we're also going to take that white a little bit and maybe just kind of, just a little bit. Nothing too earth-shattering here, because we really don't. Again, it comes to that thing where I said I don't want to lose what I'm doing with this guy here. Now this I'll add a little bit more here. And that kind of works for me because he's got hair there. So let's just pretend the hair's a little bit lighter. There we go. And alright. I kind of like that. I kind of like it. I kind of like it a lot, to be honest with you. There we go. I think he looks pretty good. Alright, so we're going to put him aside. We're going to put this guy aside. These guys, let's see here. Alright, they're okay, because they're what we want them to be. We don't want them to stand out, but we don't want them not to sell it. Let's put it that way. Alright, let's see how these guys did. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take you know what? I should have left just a hair of that white on there. Well, that's why we have the thing right where I left it. And where did I leave it? Oh, this is great for TV. Okay, there we go. Tell me, what do you want to do about shipping increased pledge? No, don't worry about it, Nathaniel. I got it. You want it, I pay for shipping. I'll make sure that we get it out. I promise you. I just didn't have room in the car. And I know you said, wait till I got back, so I wasn't killing myself over it, and I know you weren't worried about it. Thank you, Greg. Charles Book. Hi. Got here late, but those figures look great. Thank you. It's very kind of you, Charles. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made it here. Now, I got a little bit of white on here. Okay? So, the reason I want this white on here, I want to be careful with this, because we don't want gray-haired Conan, but we just kind of want to just a little bit. We just want to add just a little bit of touch. And this is such a beautiful model. I mean, let's be honest. They did a wonderful, Monolith did a wonderful job on this, and they deserve to be commended for just a fantastic job. And you can see that all I'm doing is I'm adding a little light to his hair. That's all it is, just a little light to his hair. So we get some definition in there. Perfect. And this guy, he's nice and dry. So now what we're going to do is we're going to dry off this brush. And I'm going to show you, well, you know what, before I do that, because we want to do them both at the same time, we're going to take a color called, and I'm sorry I'm a little bit all over the place. Do I want to use this, or do I want to use something a little bit lighter, like a 88? Yeah, I think this. Okay, I'm going to use. It's called XV88. Now, if you notice on Conan, he's got some very dark boots, but we want to bring those lighter. We want them to come out. As Bob Ross would say, 3 hairs and some air. There you go. The figures look awesome. I really enjoy your painting series. Thank you so much. Thank you both so much. Loving the look of them so far. I've got the King box. So do I. And all the expansions, hoping mine turn out as well as yours are looking. Well, like I was telling everybody, and if you just came in here, if you want to see the first part of this, you can go to my channel. It's Rob-Conan. Simple as that. And you can find the first part when we just put the basic coat on. Then we came here and we did all the shading as part 2. So part 2 is actually on my channel. Part 1 is actually on my channel, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, and like I said, we're painting this for the patron giveaway, which we have at the beginning of every single month. Every month. Loving the look of them so far. Okay. Question: how many different shades of washes should you use? Same with highlights. Well, it depends how you feel about it. A lot of times you could just put one coat of wash on there and boom, it's great. Or, you know, sometimes you just want to really darken things up and you'll go 2 shades, and it'll make a world of difference. But watch what I'm doing here so you guys get a feel on how a human skin should work. And what we're going to do is, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this XV88, all right, a nice light color, okay, and I got a good, sorry, went too close to the camera, smattering of this on here, and I'm just going to, again, do what I've been doing the entire night and just take this off, because we're right at that point where you really want to start highlighting things. All right, so let me put this on. And let's start with our guy right here. Let's put Conan over here. And we should be able to just see what I'm doing here. That maybe, yeah, that's okay. That's good. I'm just lightening up that. I don't like that, actually. I think it's a little bit too. I don't think it's going to work. No, I don't like that. I think that's too dark. So we're going to change it. We're going to go to a Yashabi bone. Okay? We're going to go to a Yashabi bone, and we're going to go a little lighter with that. See, this is why we do what we do. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get a whole bunch of this on here. And we're going to fold up our thing, and then we're going to take all that off. All we want to do is really solve this higher. Let's see how this looks here. Alright, that's a little better. A little bit better. Oh, there we go. That's what we were looking for. We're looking for a nice light edging. There we go. Alright, that works for that. But we want to work on his boots here, because we don't want... See how his boots lighten up now? That's what we want. We want those boots to have a little depth to them. And just a touch. In the back area here. Because he's not just brown, you know, he's got a dimension to him. We want to bring that dimension out. Oops. And we'll go over here a little bit. Go up on his here. There we go. You'll see what I'm saying in a minute here. Because it's not, people just aren't one color. You know, when they put on clothes, everything shades. There's light, and you want to build that kind of light there. All right, see how that kind of works now a little bit better? So, Greg, this does, I hope this kind of, by showing you this is kind of answering your question, I hope. All right, now the most important part, okay? You can see that we got him, and he is just way, way too dark. All right, let's crank up the light here a little bit here. All right, I think that helps a little bit, does it? Yeah, right there. All right, and you can see that he's just a little bit too dark for my liking. So now what we're going to do is we have a Keslev flesh, okay? And let me just turn down the light a little bit. All right. Now, we want to be very careful with what we do with this, because we can ruin all that shade that we just put in there. We don't want to do that. So I'm going to use a particular brush. All right, I'm going to use this brush right here. And I kind of like because it's a little more stiffer and I can get a little more control with it. So I'm going to shake this up pretty good. Message retracted. Oh, okay. Will you seal these when you're done? Absolutely. I just use a spray, a matte finish. I use a matte finish. It's a spray, a matte sealer. And it holds well, because you know, a lot of people touch everything. So you want to. All right, so that's good right there. Now this is really, really key, and this is very, very, very important, because this is going to be the whole ball of wax right here. I'd rather make sure that you have less paint on here than having too much. So again, I'm going to just touch the edge here. Now what I'm going to do is very lightly try to work over some of his areas. No, I don't like that color. Never mind the Keslev flesh. We're going to go back to a barbarian flesh. After all, he is a barbarian. And I'm going to pour a little bit of that out. I'm going to actually change the brush, because I don't like the brush. See, when you do things live, you change things on a dime. And that's okay, because these are some of the things that you're going to do. You just test a little area, and if it doesn't, you know, if you go, no, that ain't doing it. You could feel if it's going to do something, and you don't have to commit to something. And remember, if you mess up, all you got to do is just put a little more wash over that. That's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Let me see if I can find the right brush here. I think this one will do it. All right. Oops. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to get a good amount of paint on there. And then again, okay, you can see we got it on there. Can his limp sword be fixed? Yeah, if you wanted to. You can put it in boiling water. All I did was take it out of the box and paint it. Wasn't worried about his sword. It's how I make him look is what counts. So now I'm just going to kind of touch some of these areas, these upper areas, and just kind of very lightly, just kind of highlight and bring out some of that muscle. There we go. And just highlight the top. And all I'm trying to do is very lightly just add a little more light to this guy. And you can see where it's working. See how his back looks now? See how defined that looks? That's exactly what we want to do. We want to bring that out. Just go over his face a little bit so we can sell his features a little bit. take a little more of this. You got to be careful. You got to make sure you get all that paint off because you don't want him to look foggy. Alright. We'll do the same thing with his buddy here. We're just going to go over some of the higher areas. Oh, his forehead. There we go. Bring out the features. Bring out his features. Really work on what we're trying to accomplish here. He's got great legs. I mean, not, you know, to sound weird or anything like that. But, I mean, he has great definition. This model has great definition. All these models have fantastic definition. And all you have to do is take your time. You can bring it out. And all we did was take a little bit of that flesh and just dry brush that over. Look at that. That's exactly what we're looking for. This is what we want. And when we put these on the field, that's what we want. I love to paint my Imperial Salt figures, but I feel like I'd mess up and never paint figures before. Nah, it's easy. Take a look at the video that Sam and I did. We'll have you painting in no time. Have you ever got into more painting heavy tabletop war games like Warhammer, Malifaux, and stuff? Oh yes, I did. I did War Machine. I've got tons. I must have thousands and thousands of dollars of Warhammer stuff that's painted. Thousands of dollars. Maybe tens of thousands. Crom would be proud. Thanks, Dave. Barat, yeah, I answered yours. Joshua, thank you so much. Evan, glad to have you here. All right. So, what time do we got? Oh, well, we did really well. We finished just in time. We put an hour and 7 minutes in. And then I did most of the time talking. So that's a pretty good thing. So I'm going to take off my little headpiece here. Shut off the light. Alright, let's take a look at what we've done. We've done a soldier. So all the soldiers can get done, as you can see. We've done some of the undead. We've done another one of his friends. As you can see, everything looks kind of put together there. And of course we did, here's the exact pictures. We did a Bostonian guard, a dark demon, skeletons. We did 2 of them. Alright. Now I have an idea what I want to go from and how I want to go this and how I want to take these guys just a little bit farther. And what I'm going to do is now I'll just line them up and mow them all down. Let's see who else we did, just so in case you guys were looking. We did, I'm not even going to attempt to say his name. And we did Conan. So now you guys have the basic idea how to do 5 of these guys. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, actually 6 of these guys. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to do even more. When we come back from BGG Con, we're going to get into some of the bigger monsters. We're going to get into some of the the pirates and stuff like that, and the mummies and things like that, and I'm really looking for it. The artwork may offend some of the ladies in the family. Yes, I will not be doing the ladies on camera. I just don't think it's right for the Dice Tower, and I will not do it. Now, if you want to see part 1, go over to my channel, Rob Orn, and you can see part 1 of this. And what we'll do is when I come back, we'll be interchanging between the 2 channels. That way we can get the most painting out of it. I'll do the basing, I'll do the very basic colors there, and then we'll do the highlighting here. I like that. Rob, did you get the expansion also with the crossbowmen? Yes, we will be doing those as well. So, the artwork may... Oh, there we go. Lori, Evan, it's so fun and really low-key, easy. I'm a beginner and very happy with my Blood Rage. Yes, she's done a great job. You can see some of her pictures on my channel. I have painted everything except for those clans. Slowly working on those. They are a pain in the neck. The game is seriously based on the book, so I doubt Red Sonja will ever make it to the minis. Well, you never know. Well, there you have it. Everybody all lined up. Everybody all done. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you will paint yours and do a great job. If you want to have a chance to win this, you just have to be a part of the Kickstarter. We're doing the King Edition, and I hope you guys really pick up a paintbrush and paint, because that's the most important thing. So it's over. Well, it's over for now, Evan. We've got all these guys painted, and what we're going to do, and we actually went on for an hour and 11 minutes. Poor me, I always miss the Kickstarter. But we are going to come back and we're going to do the bigger stuff, and I look forward to it. And like I said, if you want to see the beginning of how we did these, you can go to my channel, Rob-Conan, and you can just click on the video and see the beginning. With that said, everyone have a wonderful weekend. We'll be playing some games this weekend, me and the kids. For those of you that normally watch my channel, for those of you who don't, just keep an eye out for Battling Brushes. And do me a favor, go to Board Game Links, click me, but also click the Dice Tower. How can the Dice Tower be in 6th place? 6th place. Go to Board Game Links, click them, like them, push them up that chart. They deserve it. And if you guys do that, I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, I'm Rob-Conan. You guys have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you soon.